All right, ladies and gentlemen, hell yeah. Happy to be alive, happy to be streaming. Trying to situate the camera so it looks good, right? I mean, whatever I can do to make this ugly mug look less ugly. Okay, so now we're gonna pull this over here. Look at that. Isn't life great? And then, we're gonna do this. We're gonna go to our sources. We're gonna cut that, transition that. Life is good. Oh baby, we're about to get started and I can hardly wait. So, fucking brand new news with what's going on with me. My fucking water heater, dude? My fucking water heater? It's started leaking right off the top, right? So I'm assuming, right? This is just my guess. I'm assuming what's going on here is that the gasket blew on top, right? Or maybe there's a connection that isn't quite connected, like the male end is not quite connected into the female end properly. Hopefully nothing worse than that. That's fingers crossed, right? So, anyway. Let's go over here. Hell yeah, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at it again. Okay, hold on. Let's situate this just a little better. There we go. See ya! Alright, and then we're gonna turn this off. Got into a huge debate with my sister recently about dog training. I stand by what I said, but, you know, she does have more experience, so maybe I'm the idiot, which is possible. You know, I could be the idiot. It would not be the first time. Okay. There we go. Hell yeah, ladies and gentlemen. Fucking nay. Let's put that over here. There we go. Drinking coffee and living the dream. Cool, it's cold now. Perfect. Just the way we like it. So I was gonna stream yesterday, but I didn't because, like, dude, I gotta admit, I was exhausted when I got off of work. And you guys don't want to watch me when I'm exhausted because it's like I'm a zombie fighting, hardly staying awake, just fucking click, 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 click. Right? You don't want that. So we just decided to skip it, dip it, do. Okay. Summoning. We're just gonna take one. We're gonna use the teleportation to go to war. War's retreat. Hell to the yeah. We're gonna pray at the altar. There we go. Okay. Is that better? Up. 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 I think we're good. I think we got it. Okay. Hell yeah. Alright, let's go to Canphis. Caneaphis? No, fuck. We're still not good. Alright, instead of adjusting the camera, pop the chair up just a tad. This is not good. There we go. Okay. I think everything's great for now. Everything's great for now until I start moving around. Okay. here. Bring my phone down here. So I should be getting a call from the water heater guy pretty soon here. Hey, River, it's okay. Come here. Good girl. You don't need to be whining. She's gonna come back. She never permanently leaves, ever. She always comes back. River. Oh, she's a good baby. Oh, she's a good baby. Oh, hush up now. No, you ain't gotta be like that. Ooh. Ooh. What if I put it like right here? And then moved it like that. And lifted it up just a tad. Oh, we gotta swap worlds. I'm having a lot of trouble, guys. I'm having a lot of fucking trouble here. Life is full of trouble! Yeah, whatever. We're gonna go with this for now. Okay. We're just trying to level up range. I mean, that's real. This is all we're trying to do. Let's just start shooting people. And there I was, and I just started blasting. I just started blasting them abyssal demons. Pop, pop, mother trucker. Throw that on right there. Hell to the yeah. We'll move this. Where should we move it? Leave it? Should we leave it? We'll leave it. So yeah, just had a little debate about dogs and crates and all this other stuff. It's funny because it was really what preempted this was there's a clip going around of a big streamer who may or may not have used a shock collar on his dog. Okay. And then the dog yelped, right? And everybody's making a big deal out of what I would assume is literally nothing, right? People are just giving into the mob. Because, I mean, realistically, I know people don't want to hear this, but realistically, I mean, sometimes dogs yelp because it's a shock. You know, it's like not because they got hurt, but because they weren't expecting it. And depending on the personality of the dog, everyone has a dog that's maybe the dog's a little bit more sensitive, right? Like, so I wasn't weirded out that he was using a shock collar or that the dog yelped. What I was more concerned about was that does the dog like sit in the background for like 8 hours a day every fucking day? Whenever the dog tries to get off the bed, he shocks it. That's what I was curious about. I wanted to know if the dog was a prop or not, right? Because a dog is not a prop. It's a living creature, and if you want a prop, get a fucking stuffed animal, right? Or get a more, like, lazy dog, right? That was kind of my mindset about the whole situation. Oh! Wait a minute. I'm like, why is this happening? I'm like, why am I spending arrows like crazy? What's going on here? Okay, that was fun. All right, back to what I was saying. You know, if I was more concerned about if the dog was a prop or not, or if he treats it like a living creature, that's as far as my concern went. The shot collar and the yelp was not something that bothered me, right? Because, you know, shit, dude. I've been around way more dogs than most people. No, literally, I've been around. I think at one point we had 100 dogs on the lot that my dad was taking care of, because my dad used to race sled dogs, okay? So when it comes to the treatment of animals, when it comes to training animals, I know what's acceptable and I know what's not acceptable, you know? I'm not super duper sensitive, right? Dogs are just like kids. Their personalities vary vastly. And that's not even getting into like dog breeds, right? Because dog breeds, holy shit, that's a whole other situation, okay? So that's kind of what, I'm already preloaded to understand that in order to train a dog properly, a mixture of positive and negative reinforcement is what matters, right? And I wouldn't even call it negative reinforcement. Really, when you shock a dog, you're just saying, hey, the thing you're doing is not okay, right? So, so I've got more experience than most people, you know? My dad used to race sled dogs. I used to be around, like, big-ass dogs all the fucking time, right? I've had bird dogs. We've had hunting dogs. And then we've also just had house dogs, right? So I'm actually way more sensitive to treating the dog properly when it comes to like, hey, do you live in an apartment? Oh, you live in an apartment? Probably shouldn't have a husky. That's really abusive because a husky needs this much property, right? When it comes to like physical abuse, there are lines that you shouldn't cross. But like negative reinforcement or a tap on the nose, these are not, it's not a big deal. Now if you're fucking pounding the dog, right, that's abuse, right? And you shouldn't be around dogs, okay? Plain and simple, super easy. I think a monkey could in fact, monkeys do understand this, right? We're monkeys, right? Is that the accepted science take right there? So, your average person is able to differentiate what abuse is and what's not abuse. And anybody that says using a shock collar the way he potentially was using it doesn't know what abuse is and has probably never really trained a dog, you know. A lot of people, they generally get like a golden retriever or lab, right? Those are the two dogs people generally get, and you train them a little bit. Like you can train your dog to maybe sit pretty. Maybe you trained your dog to fetch. You probably haven't trained it on a leash. It probably doesn't heel, right? It also probably, more than likely, can't like actually do like work dog behavior because you've never had to train a dog to do work dog behavior, right? You've never had to train a dog to race a sled. You've never had to train a dog to herd animals. So you actually don't know how to train your dog. Just because you trained it not to go outside unless you tell it to and you potty trained it doesn't mean you know how to train a dog. That is like the bare minimum when it comes to what your dog is expected to do. Most people don't even train their dog on treating people properly, right? Like your dog shouldn't jump up on people. It's unacceptable, right? Like that's not okay. that's not an okay behavior. And there's a lot of reasons why that's not an okay behavior, but that's like an example of a thing that people don't even get their dog to do, which every dog should be like. A lot of people don't actually have well-behaved dogs, right? Now, I'm not saying you can't get the results you're looking for with positive training. Again, in my opinion, it all comes down to the dog breed and the personality of that dog, right? You know, some parents are like, yeah, I never spanked my kid once and they turned out great. It's like, cool, I'm glad you won the lottery when it came to behavior and personality genetics, right? And then there's some kids who, they need spanking. Sorry, it is what it is. Dogs are the same way, right? So, I don't know. Everyone's freaking out about the shot collar thing. That's not the thing I'm worried about. I was more worried about how much time does that dog have to spend in that little corner right there? Does he take the dog out? It's a big dog, right? Like, and I'm not saying it's a work dog. I need to do a little bit more research into the breed. But is that dog receiving the fulfillment that dogs need? Is it going on walks? Is it getting mental enrichment? Those are the things I cared about. And if that dog is a prop in the background of his stream all fucking day, not good, right? So I've got a dog right now. She's right below me. She's right below me right now. If I wanted to, I could probably train her to sit in the background. But she doesn't want to. She feels comforted sitting right below my feet. Okay? That's fine. That's fine. I'm not gonna break her of that habit. So it's totally normal for a dog to want to be near you. The question is the dog allowed to like be a dog, or is it a prop? Those are the real questions that I was curious about. And so I called my sister and we started debating, and the debate just got out of hand. But the take that she had was there wasn't enough information to go on to decide whether that collar was a shock collar or not. Which, that's a fair take. It's an obnoxious take, but it's a fair take. I think you need a lot more evidence to prove that it's a shock collar. This is my concern. Oh, hey, what's up, dude? Oh, what's got me on the warpath for dogs? Okay. So I saw this clip. It's so stupid. It doesn't even matter. I saw this clip of a bigger streamer, and like the dog, when it got off the bed, he like told the dog to stop fucking around, and then the dog yelped, and people think he's using a shock collar. I hope this doesn't change your opinion of me. I don't actually think that's a big deal. I grew up around dogs my whole life. My dad used to raise sled dogs. So I know what's required to train a dog properly. My main concern about that clip is the stuff that people said, which is that dog is used as a prop and it stays in that bed for like 8 hours a day while he's streaming. If that's the case, I don't like that, right? Like, dogs need like physical enrichment, they need to go on walks, and then they need mental enrichment, like play, fetch, structured play, you know? I agree. You should love animals. I'm with you on that. Like right now, oh, she moved. So I've got a dog, and I'm sure I could train her to sit in the background like that. But first of all, I don't give a fuck where she goes. And generally, she actually sleeps at my feet because that makes her more comfortable, you know? And I wouldn't want to train my dog not to be in the place it doesn't want to be, right? So that's what I've been talking about. But anyway, I got into a huge debate with my sister about dogs. I asked her if she thought potentially watching the clip if he's using a shock collar or not. And she said there's not enough information to go on whether he's using a shock collar or not. But yeah, no, I'm with you though, 100%. Love animals, but also understand you can't just let your animal do whatever. That's irresponsible, you know? Part of loving something is doing what's best for that thing, right? So you gotta train your dog. And some dogs, you can train them with only positive reinforcement. It depends on the breed. It depends on the breed, and it depends on the personality of your dog, right? Some dogs require a mixture of positive and negative reinforcement, which is, you know, I mean, shoot. If you're not abusing the dog, I don't think a shock collar is a big deal. I really don't. I really don't. And, you know, when the dog yelped, this is a big one too. When the dog yelped, doesn't necessarily mean it yelped out of pain. Oftentimes, depending on how sensitive the dog is, it might have yelped because it was shocked. Like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that, you know. So, I agree, yeah. No, it's, I think the way people treat dogs is they treat dogs like accessories. Oh, I want a dog, and I want it to be this dog breed because I think that dog breed is cool and mysterious and sexy, and it helps with my identity, right? But that's not how you should pick a dog breed. You should pick a dog breed based on your living situation. I was living in an apartment at one point, and my neighbors got a husky. I love huskies. Huskies are great dogs. I grew up around, I think my dad had 100 huskies on the lot at one time. They all were his dog, right? He was just taking care of them. But I think we had like 100 dogs on the lot at one point. So I love huskies. But my neighbors, we live in an apartment complex, got a husky. And I looked at them and I said, you guys are moving, right? And they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, you can't have a husky in an apartment complex. They're cute dogs, but they are crazy. And the amount of physical and mental enrichment huskies need cannot be fulfilled at an apartment complex. And they're like, oh yeah, no, we're gonna move, it's fine, this and that and the other. A couple months go by, they still hadn't moved. And I was like, hey, so thought you guys were gonna move. And they were like, yeah, no, we're gonna get rid of the husky pretty soon here. And I was like, oh, what happened? And they were like, we can't control it. And I was like, yeah, because you live in a small apartment complex. If you want a dog, you need to get like a small little dog, right? Dogs should be, when you get a dog, it should be based on your situation, not what dog breed you want. Yeah, no, it is absolutely a dick move. That being said, there are some animals, some smaller dogs, that will totally be fine in an apartment complex, you know? An example of a small dog where you could get it enriched physically and mentally, a schnauzer. And you can get a decent-sized schnauzer. They're about, depending on whether you're getting a small schnauzer, normal schnauzer, or a giant schnauzer, you can have that dog in an apartment, but you better make sure you're taking it on walks. And you better make sure that you're getting that physical enrichment that it's gonna need, right? Like, you need to be going out to the park every day, you know? But like, I just feel like when people get animals, they're getting animals because it's an accessory. Oh, well, I like this dog breed. It looks really cute. We're gonna get this dog breed, right? That's not how you should be deciding what dog you're getting, you know? And another important thing, owning an animal is a privilege. It's not a right. So if your current situation, take myself, I work 12 hours a day. If I have to work 12 hours a day, I probably shouldn't own a dog. The only reason I have a dog is because my wife is able to take care of the dog when I'm not home. You know? If I didn't have a partner, I wouldn't own a dog right now. I just wouldn't be able to satisfy that dog, you know? So, yeah, I'm really passionate about animals, because animals are, first of all, they're beautiful. They're so easy to love. And secondly, like, they serve a purpose, you know? They actually, and you got to make sure that whatever you're getting, it's able to serve its purpose. If you get like a husky, that's a work animal. You need to make sure you're working that dog. And if you're unable to make it work, you need to come up with a scenario where you can mimic work, right? Because huskies need structured working activities. It's just how their DNA is built. And if you can't fulfill that, then you can't get a husky. So I'm kind of repeating myself at this point. It is what it is. Yeah, that kind of stuff frustrates me. So, but you know, it's I'm used to it though. You know, when your dad races sled dogs, there's two types of people that irritate the fuck out of you. There's the people who don't treat their dogs properly. And then there's the people who think you're abusing your dog. Those are the two types of people I hate in the world, because both of them are ignorant to how dogs should be treated. There's a ton of people who think racing sled dogs is abusive, and it's like, no, they're literally, we have selected their genetics through specific types of breeding to make it so that that dog enjoys doing what it's doing, you know? So, whatever. You know, it's fine. I mean, who cares what other people think? Nobody knows anything anyway. So... yeah. My dad actually used to do really good at sled dog racing too. So he, the way that he got started, he didn't have enough money to race sled dogs. So what he did was he went to other people's teams and he would help them train their dog, right? And he would like learn the process and figure out what it took to train sled dogs. And he did that by tutoring under people. And then the people he worked for, he'd be like, hey, I noticed that you're having a lot of trouble with this dog or these dogs right here. How about I take them off your hands, right? And so what he did was he took all the unwanted dogs from everyone else's teams and he made his own team out of those rejects. And then he took that team and started winning races, you know? And he did the Bear Grease race, which is a pretty famous race in my area. He never did the Iditarod, right? That was all the way in Alaska. He did spend some time in Alaska, but he never raced in Alaska. So, yeah, it's my dad's freaking. He knows how to take care of dogs and animals, and he's really good at it. And then eventually, my dad stopped racing sled dogs, and then he started training bird dogs, and so that was pretty cool too. And I grew up around that, you know. That's kind of been my life. So, oh, ow, fuck. Yeah. So the reason he stopped doing it is because he couldn't make enough money doing it. He loved racing sled dogs, and what he would do is during the wintertime, when he wasn't racing or training the dogs, he would do sled dog tours. And so people would pay him so that they could get on a sled, and he would they would be in the center of the sled and he would be in the back and he would be racing the dogs, you know. I don't know why I did that's for horses. The way that it's set up is you're like holding onto a sled and the dogs, you tell them, hey, G, and then they go to the right. And you say, ha, and then they go to the left, right? So, yeah, you know, that's, it's pretty cool, but he just couldn't make enough money doing it. So in the wintertime, he would give sled dog tours, and in the summertime, he was a park ranger. But my sister was coming along the way. My mom was pregnant with my sister, And my dad had to make a choice. How do I take care of these 2 kids? So he kind of left the world behind when it came to sled dog racing, and he started getting a job where he could make more money. And that's kind of the choice he had to make. But, you know, he's happy with the choices he made. Oh, dude. Right? Okay. After 3 grand quests and a bunch of BS perk hunting, finally had 200,000 charges for my Grace of the Elves. All so I can go back to fishing AFK. Damn checklist gets me every time. You know what? Okay, so we make jokes about the checklist, but let's be honest. It's kind of fun, right? Because what it does is it forces you to engage with all of the RuneScape content, you know? And it makes the game fun and interesting. Like, it's frustrating because you want to do this one thing, but then you got to do this laundry list of other things. But there is some enjoyment of doing that laundry list and then finally being able to do the thing that you worked so hard to be able to do, you know? But like yesterday, right? So yesterday you were like, okay, it would help out with your AFK if you could get this dog. And I was like, okay, let's work to get the dog. And then we go there, and then it's like, oh, here's these other things you need to do to get the dog. It was kind of funny. Oh, yeah, 100%. So, what is the Grace of Elves? I don't even know what that is. Is that something I should be looking into? Is it like an aura? Which, by the way... But, like, I've gotten enjoyment, right? So, leveling up necromancy, I've had to do a laundry list of other things in order to get the armor, right? Like, if you look back at my streams, I had to get, like, level 70 and a bunch of stuff so that I could fight the generals in the God War dungeon. GWDs. And then, now that we're going to go for... Now that we're going to go for tier 90, I got to level up a bunch of stuff and to 80 so that I can do God Wars 2, you know? It's a pretty OP necklace with a bunch of effects. To sum it up, though, it makes the rare table loot drop happen whenever you're skilling and acts as a sign of porter for storage device. So, would it work alongside of Luck of the Dwarves? You can auto-telly items you loot to gather to your bank. What? So does it work side by side with Luck of the Dwarves? Because Luck of the Dwarves grants you 4 luck, right? It also decreases the cost of some prayers. Okay. Because I could see having Grace of the Elves. Oh, and yeah, the general setup is Luck of Dwarves, Grace of the Elves, and a Brooch of the Gods. Oh, dude, that's sexy. Ooh, maybe that's what I need to do. I probably do not have the correct requirements to do those quests, though, if I had to guess. Ooh, I like this song. Boom, adding it to the playlist. Okay, this is our level in, we're 75, so 5 more levels. I'm excited. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that might be something we look into once we get tier 90 necromancy. There's a couple of things I need to look into. What was... Oh yeah, I wanted to do this when you were here. As soon as we are out of food, we are gonna go to the Grand Exchange because I have 10 crystal keys, and then I also have the crystal symbol. What's it called? The one where you take 3 parts of it and then you make like a circle. So I've got one of those, and then I got 10 crystal keys as a drop from these guys, and I wanted to see how lucky I get. Yes, the Triskelion? Triskelion. The Triskelion? Triskelion. Triskelion? Triskelion. Triskelion? Triskelion? Triskelion. That's what I'm gonna say. Triskelion. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Yeah, basically, just the blue crystal key, yeah. Put it in the rock, get the items. Yes, sir. It's in Frenic. It's over in that area. I know where it is. Ooh, I'm out of my pulse cores. Oh yeah, let's look at this real quick. 158 out of 200. Okay. I just need 500 more kills. I got to upgrade my gargoyle mask. Dude, that thing looks so kick-ass. Oh, did I tell you about my water heater? So I'm at work, I get a phone call from my wife, and she's like, hey, got really bad news. The water heater is like leaking everywhere. And I was like, oh shoot, okay, you need to shut the water heater off and then close the valve. And so she does that, and then she calls up a local spot that works on water heaters. And it was leaking from the top. So I think either a fitting is not connected properly, and it's now finally leaking. That's what I'm hoping for. Or maybe a gasket, the seal. There's like an improper seal and we need to replace the gasket. Those are my 2 hopes. So, at some point there's gonna be a guy that comes over. I'm gonna have to stop streaming, and then I'm gonna work with him to get the water heater fixed. So, yeah. Stupid, but you know, whatever. It sucks because it feels like it's one thing after the other. Recently I had to spend like $500 on my car. I had to replace the battery. And then I had to get the O2 sensor replaced. That was expensive. And that just happened like 2 weeks ago. And now the water heater. And it's just like, oh fuck, just thing after thing after thing after thing, you know? But it's not like I'm like, it's not like I'm living check to check. So I can afford to get it done. I just have to work extra days at work, right? So, which is fine. The contract that we have set up, if I don't have to work 40 hours a week to get paid time and a half. In fact, if I come in on a day that I'm not scheduled to work, that whole day is time and a half. So let's say I only work 3 days that week, which 3 times 12 is 36. I get scheduled on a day I wasn't supposed to. That whole 12-hour shift is overtime. Overtime doesn't kick in after 40 hours. It kicks in whether I am at work, when I'm at work, when I wasn't scheduled to be at work. So it's a pretty, yeah, it's a cool system. Yeah, well, you say that, but then your GPU starts heating up, and now you need to figure out what's going on with, you know, you gotta do some maintenance on your computer or your electronic setup. Because that stuff degrades over time, don't it? But yeah, no, I hear you though. I am with you. To get away from having to do repairs on my house and all this other stuff, I'm with you. True. So what do you do for fun? Do you like, other than playing video games, do you like know an instrument, or like, do you play an instrument, or do you draw, paint, sculpt, that kind of stuff, or? I've always wanted to learn how to play the guitar. I can play the piano okay, like I'm okay at it. And I can read sheet music just barely. And it's a shame because I am obsessed with music. I listen to music like the whole time I'm at work. I listen to music in the car. If I wasn't chatting with you right now, I'd be listening to music, jamming out. I'm obsessed with music, but I'm just not creatively inclined to make music, which kind of sucks, right? You would hope that your interest lines up with your natural skills, but not for me. I make a joke with my friend. People who are artistically inclined but have no artistic skills are obsessed with philosophy. Because philosophy is just, it's just art, right? Like you are artistically thinking about life and the way things work. And being able to describe that to somebody is a skill, you know? And I think it requires like the brain of an artist, which is why all the great philosophers were also artistic people. Audiobooks or RuneScape? Nah, that's not boring at all, dude. Books is where everything is. Used to live overseas, did a lot of motorbike exploration and shit, but in Canada, just not viable really here. Yeah, I get that. I hear you. That's not boring though, you know? Books are so interesting that they encompass everything in reality, and then they encompass everything outside of reality as well. So books are kick-ass. So it sucks, right? I have a friend who I was trying to stream with, and we've been trying to set up a streaming group for like ever. We have a Discord, we have a bunch of people in the Discord, and he's just, I don't know what his deal is. I really don't. I've tried to figure it out, but he loves the idea of streaming. He loves the idea of building a community. He wants to like sell swag, t-shirts, and all that stuff. He loves the idea of setting up a brand and making money, but he just doesn't want to put in the work to stream. Which, you know, you can't force someone to do something they don't want to do. But for a while, like, we would stream, we'd play Halo together, we would play Call of Duty, and we'd just fucking get into it, dude. But it just never panned out. I'm sure one of these days we'll stream and you'll get to meet him. He's a cool dude. And then I have another friend who he wants to do a podcast where he wants to discuss politics and just all the crazy stuff that's happening in the world. The problem is we work at the same place, but we work opposite shifts. So when I'm at work, he's off. And when he's off, I'm at work. So just haven't really been able to line it up. He's a cool dude too. Oh, hell yeah. Okay, fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah, hold on. Let me pull up my Discord. Because I actually do not know it by heart. And then I'll type it in, and you can add me on Discord, dude. I think I have it on streamer mode. So let's take it off streamer mode real quick. Enable streamer mode. Okay, it's off. Go to my profile. Oh, they took the numbers away? I thought you used to have to, in order to add somebody, you needed numbers to add them. But I guess not. Okay. Add me on Discord. And then, when you add me on Discord, I'll add you to the chat. We've got quite a few people in here. It's kind of dead now, but it didn't used to be. Okay, sent the request. Okay. Where are you? Oh, there he is. Alright, I added you. Okay. And then let's see if I can add you to this. How do I add people? I'm like basically retarded when it comes to using stuff, especially Discord, because it's not obvious. Oh, create an invite. Here we go. Where are you at? There you are. Alright, I sent you an invite. your shitbag, fuck monkey, go gargle troll dicks, and puss-ridden waste of air. Your mother likes to go get double-teamed by forest giant. Your dad pays sewer rats to nibble on his junk. That's like, that reminds me of, what's that movie, Monty Python, Quest for the Holy Grail? There we go. So, yeah, some of us play Call of Duty, some of us do other stuff as well. But, yeah, no, dude, it'd be fun to stream with you sometime. That'd be kick-ass. We can, we'll set up a time to do that. And we'll get a stream going. It'll be a lot of fun. Ooh. Let me hit up Tommy. Let's see how he's doing. There we go. It's an audiobook quote from a 5-year-old. That's awesome. Yeah, well, in fact, actually, after I get my water heater fixed, if you've got time, we could even try like a little test run to get it going. Would you prefer to stream on YouTube or Twitch? It's up to you. Like, I don't care where we do it. The only reason I'm on YouTube is because I feel like visibility, it's easier to get found on YouTube, but I haven't checked out the analytics. I'm not really sure. So, if you think there's a better place for us to stream, I'm all for it. Okay. And then here's what we're gonna do. Okay. When did I get this? When did I don't remember getting that. Huh. Bizarre. Okay. Cool, I guess. Ten keys. There we go. Let's check out Discord. Yeah, no, that's the other reason too. I'm with you on that. I'm definitely with you on that. I have issues with authority as well. I also don't like being told what I can and can't say. That's a big one for me. Okay. All right. Let's pull up OBS. There we go. Okay. Get the fuck out of here. All right. Okay. And then we'll go to we'll do the crystal key real quick. Shoot. You're making me wish I streamed yesterday. So I didn't stream yesterday because when I got off of work, I was like, fuck, I don't want to sit in front of the camera and stream for an hour or two, but probably should have. Okay, where's it at? Oh, it's probably way over here. It's way over here. It's all the way down there, I think. Ooh, I like this song. Okay, Pheasant, Pheasant. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. There we go. Okay, so it's right there. Cool. Okay. Yeah, not that bad. Bank all. Okay. And then we'll go to Taverley, right? Yeah, I'm down. I'm down. Just give me a second. Let me finish up these crystal keys here. And then I'll do some prawn crackers. Is that like the Christmas cracker thing? Like back in the day? Okay. Back before even I played RuneScape. I generally get better drops than this. Oh, there we go. 30,000 right there. Ooh. Not great, but not bad. Come on. Oh, another 30,000. Sweet. All right, I'll go to the GE. Just way shittier. There's no chance to get a party hat, huh? I wonder if Christmas crackers are still even out there. Do you think there's some still left that people haven't opened? How much is a Christmas cracker? Like, I imagine it's like twice the price of a party hat. Christmas cracker. Jesus. Holy fuck. There's tons still out there, huh? Okay. That's cool. Alright, so the world that I'm in right now. Let's see. I'm in World 49. Do you want me to meet you wherever you're at, or? I'll just start selling stuff, because I need to sell stuff anyway. Okay. Okay. Was there anything else I wanted to sell? Why did I think there was all this stuff I wanted to sell? Oh, yeah. Do I want to sell any seeds? Oh, that's a huge. That's decent. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not sell the seeds. Probably not worthwhile. Oh, I have a golden cracker. You want to open a golden cracker? A cracker to commemorate the winning of the golden joystick. Whenever that was. That sounds like that happened back in 2016 or something. Oh! Hold on. Give me a second. I might have to stop streaming. We'll see. probably be back in here, actually.